So it's 7 o'clock UK time, and I know some of you are joining us from America and other places as well. So welcome. And we'll wait a couple more minutes, and then we'll make a start.
Okay. Well, in the comment box, Annie says it's rainy where she is. Nigel's got thunderstorms. So it's crazy. I mean, we had a lot of rain earlier, but now it's a wonderful sunny day at 7 p.m.
We just had perfect weather.
Sunshine.
Sorry?
Yeah, we had perfect weather, I think, today. Right, Ali? It's kind of just sunny and nice.
Yeah, it's already a very nice spring here.
Oh, Nigel's in Kent. Paul's in Wiltshire. Sunny in Wiltshire, sunny in Dulles Hill. David, you're asking if we're meant to have audio yet. If you cannot hear us, then yes, that's an issue. Maybe you might want to set up your audio settings. But if you can hear us, but obviously you're talking about your audio, then no, you would not have that yet. Or at all, actually. Sunny in Ascot. It's raining all day. Sunny and raining. Oh, really? Okay. Mike, have a look in the comment box for David. There's something going on with his sound. Right. Okay, so how long did you want to wait for everyone else to join in?
Only a couple more minutes, and I'm just trying to have a look to see where I can find the...
Sunny and Harrogate.
Here we go, chat.
Okay, David can hear fine, actually. He can hear fine.
Perfect. Okay, cool. So I don't need to worry about that.
Yes, right in the weed. Sunshine in London. It's really strong. Yeah, rainbows just appeared. Where are you, Paul? Paul's got a rainbow.
We had a rainbow about 15 minutes ago.
Gosh, I need to go check maybe if I've got one. Or maybe I'm at the end where the pot of gold is.
maybe.
Yeah. So how is everyone? How many of you are super excited to help us celebrate our first birthday? It's our first birthday. We're one.
Yeah.
We are one.
Very excited.
Next time someone asks me my age, I'm just gonna say I'm one.
So what happened last, like a year ago? Was it an event?
Yeah, Mike, you had it. Where were you?
Yeah, it was a fairly easy birth. And so we had we had this really cool co-working space in London called the Timber Yard, which is where people with any kind of laptop lifestyle go to work. They've got super fast Wi-Fi and great coffee. And we had a ton of people turn up, which was great, and there wasn't enough space. So we very quickly had to learn how to use WeWork, and that became our venue choice. And then to initially limit numbers, and then kind of working with Tanisha, we kind of grew our WeWork space from there. So it was a bit of a journey. But yeah, no, it's been a really, really good year.
Well, I was just thinking a year later we have the exact same problem, don't we? Well, we've got over 250 signups and a 100 capacity, so still don't have enough space.
The virtual, yeah. I wonder if someone in the audience is already was also attending last year, the first one, yeah.
Who you've had someone for the whole year? Who have you had?
So I think Wisson has been with us since the early days, and Dennis, Petar, and Jim joined us a couple of months in. So yeah, you guys who I know are on the call today, you guys have been with us pretty much right from the start. So it's great that you're here celebrating our first birthday this evening.
Well, Naweed said it's
Conference
his
in my
first in his
PJs.
pajamas. Yeah.
You say pajama bottoms? How do you say in
Well,
Yep.
he said PJs, but yeah, they're pajamas. I think I'm gonna assume he's wearing a one suit, like a matching
onesie?
pajama
Yeah.
set, a onesie, right? Probably one of those with the ears and the tail.
Unicorns.
No,
Oh, my son has it.
yeah.
He's 6 and he sleeps every day with his unicorn pajamas.
He says it's Elementor branded.
Nice.
So there's loads of first timers. We've got David Ash. We've got, oh yeah, Jim's here. Yeah, Jim. But we've got David Ash. We've got Stephen White's brand new. Who's there? Tom Ross. Juan. I hope I said Juan right and it wasn't just Jean. Waste my attempted pronunciation. And we've got quite a few people actually. Quite a few people.
Tanisha, we've got a few people with their hands up as well. So Rob Cox, Julian, and Barney.
Shout out to Helmut, who's here.
Yeah, from Germany, Munich.
There's a lot. We've got a lot. I'm really glad. I feel like we have a lot of women in here today. So I'm so sorry, man. It's just that, you know.
I'm with you.
For your own team and all that. Are there any women in here? Please just, give us a little emoji if you're here as well. Lovely, exactly, Rebecca. Hi, Rebecca. Yeah, it's good to see balance. Really, really nice. Really, really nice.
Yeah, for sure.
So we're at about 76 already, and it's only been 6 minutes. That's amazing.
Hey, Cheryl.
Real good dedication. Right.
Yeah, we should probably make a start.
Yep.
So we're now up to 72 attendees, which is awesome. Totally amazing. So just to let everyone know that we are recording this and we will share the playback link tomorrow after the event. And so anyone who hasn't been able to join us live can replay this. But yeah, thank you very much all for joining us today. It's quite a nice achievement to reach one, and I think we've ran the London Meetup every month bar last September when we just took a month off when I brought Tanisha in to help us expand the venue and the format. So this is now I think our 12th monthly event, which is really, really good. Mm-hmm. A big thank you to all of those long-standing community members who have been there consistently, who have shared their knowledge with other members over the months, and have also provided myself and Tanisha with so much support. The likes of big shout out to Jim and James, who certainly have supported us in recent months in supporting the community. And we will be running more events this year and bringing more of you into the leadership team to help us be more effective and to help more people. So keep an eye out for more on that in the coming weeks. A big thank you to Tally and Ben from the from Elementor in Israel. It's great that you guys have joined us this evening, fresh from your holidays, hopefully. So this evening, myself and Tanisha will do a quick introduction, and then Tally is going to talk to us about the global community and kind of other groups, and how if you are in a place around London and you feel that you can start your own group, she'll tell you how to do that. And then the main event tonight will be Ben Pines from Elementor talk about post-pandemic planning for web creators. So we're super excited to find out all about that. So I'm Mike, and I was the original co-host for the London Elementor Meetup. We started a year ago, obviously. And I'm a web creator myself at Design Flow Studio. And so that's how you can kind of reach out to me. And do you feel free to also connect with me on LinkedIn as well. And we've also got Tanisha, and I'll let kind of Tanisha introduce herself.
Hello everyone, I'm Tanisha. So I've been working with Mike for quite a while on this now. I absolutely love and adore Elementor, and I use it all the time because I teach quite a lot of web creation skills to entrepreneurs who would kind of like to do it themselves. So I'm really excited for the fact that we are one. I got dressed up. Mike, do you remember I said I have to think about what I'm going to wear? I finally made up my mind. So I'm just really happy. I hope everyone has whatever you need with you, something comfortable, and you're ready for the session. It's going to be really enjoyable. Most of the time, Mike and I will not be physically here because obviously Ben or Tally will be speaking, but I'm going to be super active in the chat area. So if you've got questions, especially the newbies, drop your questions in there and all of us will help you. It's such an amazing community. So just throw your question in there. I'm sure someone will answer it before even I get there. And then at the end of the session, after Ben's finished, we will go into a Q&A. So you can also feel free to start front loading your questions into the Q&A area when you're ready. I suggest if you've got specific questions, you use Q&A. But if it's just passing questions as we go, drop them in the chat so the community can help out. But if you really want Ben or Tally or Mike or myself to answer it, throw that in the Q&A because then we're going to have dedicated time. And also we're probably going to come back to those if we run out of time for questions at a later date because we will be able to have them right there. So I'm not going to bore you with telling you what I do. I'm an enterprise educator and I work with people who like to create websites, and I love Elementor. You can have a look at those areas if you'd like to see anything, but these links really just connect you to the rest of us in the community. Perfect. Oh, well, look at that. Helmut has just said the web creators. You're right. There's 2 E's. The webcreatorstoolbox.com is misspelt. So like I said, it's a community space. Thank you so much. Yep, spelling, exactly. Thank you. All right, so I'm going to hand it over to Tally and enjoy.
Thank you. I will share my presentation. Oh, wow, great. It's updates here, I see. Fantastic. Hi, everyone. I'm very excited to be here. I have to say that. My name is Tali, and I'm from the Elementor community team. Today is the first event from our virtual road trip. We are going to visit 15 cities in 8 weeks to support our local communities worldwide. We are traveling from Europe to Asia, Africa, Australia, South America, and the US. So we have a lot of people here from different countries and the US. So just wait, we will be there as well. We will send an email in just a couple of weeks. So if you're not signed up yet, make sure that you to sign up to Elementor's email. I would like to share with you our current initiatives for the community of Elementor. If you can go back to the previous slide. So London is a part of 60 cities running Elementor meetups in over 26 countries with over 10,000 members. The main goal of the meetups is to create real and valuable relationships between local web creators, to collaborate, inspire, and support each other, always and especially during these times. As we all know, there is nothing that can beat an in-person connection. So if you are outside of London or from other countries and you would like to start a meetup in your own city to support your local web creators, you can just apply to host a meetup in your city. I can go to the next slide. I will share a link in the chat afterwards. And if you want to be active in the leadership team of London, you can, of course, approach Mike and Tanisha. So we also have a global community on Facebook, which is very active with over 60,000 members. If you're not there yet, You're welcome to join and get tips, share your work, and be inspired by Elementor users from all over the world. Last but not least, today we are celebrating the first year of the London Meetup, and I'm very proud that we are here. And I want to thank Mike and Tanisha for investing their time and effort in the local Elementor community. And I wish all of you to keep empowering each other to be successful web creators. So thank you, and back to you, Mike.
Okay, so don't worry, Tally, I'll do that. So Ben, it's over to you. Are you ready to get started? Yeah.
I just need to share my screen.
Yep.
Somehow it says that I'm disabled.
Sorry, let me, there we go. Should you try now?
Oh, now it's fine. Okay, can everyone see it?
Yep.
Okay, that's perfect. So, hi everyone, and it's great that we can really connect like this. And even though there's the obstacle of the COVID, it's not getting us back down, and we still meet. And all of the efforts that Tali is and the rest of the team is heading is amazing. All the leaders from around the world, and 2 years ago, was the last time I was in the UK. It was actually for a summit, and it was nice. I mean, I flew in, I stayed in the lovely Mayfair Hotel at the heart of Mayfair. I had a lovely English breakfast with pineapple and omelette, and it was really amazing. And now I've tucked my kids to sleep, and I hope they won't interrupt me right now. And I'm in my shorts. No, just kidding. But you can definitely say that the situation is strange. It's a weird time that we're living. And the topic of, sorry, just a second. The topic of my short talk now is how to prepare to the post-pandemic era. Now, I know in London, you really were hit hard, and still, people already commented that there is going to be a reduction in the lockdown, and we see an end in sight. And I think for web creators, now is an important time to think of the next stage, how they can prepare to the new normal situation. Because even though some European countries, including Israel, started to lift lockdown, there's no going back to a regular normal, but to a new normal after COVID, and a lot of changes will still happen. There's a growing consensus that the restrictions and limitations that we've seen during the lockdown are going to remain with us in the following months, and the impact can remain in the following years. And if at first the job was to actually protect and adapt to the situation and protect our business, and I wrote about it in this article, now is the time to actually think long-term, think how we can grow our business and develop the right strategy that will help us sustain the effects of the pandemic. And it's really hard. I did some research. It's really hard to find relevant information about this topic, especially for web creators. And it's because there's no, this situation has never happened before. It's hard to find answers online because it never happened before. And this is why I wanted to share some of my insights. And not just mine. A few weeks ago, I asked the community regarding the results they were seeing from their new ventures that started after COVID. And I got some really interesting responses that I incorporated in this lecture. So first of all, I know we need some good news here. So the good news is that we're in the right industry. We're definitely in the right industry. So this pandemic actually caused a surge in traffic across different industries, as you can see in this chart. So streaming, digital publishing, which is news blogs, social media, GIFs and memes. And boy, if I get another work from home meme, that's it. Gaming, educational tech. I mean, across the board, we're seeing a huge, you see in the red, an incline in traffic for March, in dozens of percent. And you know what this surge means in terms of traffic? And that's right, it means more sites and more work. And again, we're in the right industry. It's going to continue to boom. So these are good news. And after COVID ends, many businesses understand the importance of their online presence, meaning that they know that they need to invest in a website, in their online presence, and us web creators can only benefit from that. So look at this trend I found from Google Trends for online store. You can see in March the big acceleration, and that's just one insight that can tell us that this is a trend that is going to continue. So what are the business ideas that that we can actually we should actually follow? So after the pandemic started, I personally just got crazy with consuming content around this topic, and it can get a bit confusing. I mean, when you get tons of ideas for new businesses or new actions to take, it can be confusing, but I'm going to focus on what is cannot be missed, what you shouldn't miss, and at least contemplate. What are the best website related ideas to think about incorporating into your business? And the first is, of course, it's obvious, it's building online stores. We recently, a few days ago, we released a Monday masterclass where we explain how to take a regular website and turn it into an online store real easily using Elementor. And this is a service that you can offer to your current clients or to new clients. And from the community, I got great responses related to this. So Karim mentioned they created a strict WooCommerce for a local grocer to take orders without being in interaction. Kathy mentioned she created a home garden store. Took her not long. Here's a site that was submitted to our showcase and was created after the situation for a home delivery. And another website for a local producer of food and drinks. They actually, it's a collective of food and drink makers. That's really cool. So actually, Stackline created a very interesting study where they published the top 100 gaining and declining e-commerce categories. So here is a chart made by Visual Capitalist, and it shows quite clearly what are the industries, what are the product categories that have seen huge increases. You see by hundreds of percents, like rice and dried grains and fruit cups. So what does this mean for you? I mean, maybe target clients that are around these fields. If you already have past clients, you can reconnect with them or call potential clients as well. So this is definitely something that you should explore and think about. This chart, of course, we will provide links to everything I show in this presentation. The next, I would say, category that you should contemplate is the whole industry of online course and online education. I mean, we recently released a template kit that was made just because we knew there's a huge need for it from our community. So check it out. And it's actually a template kit that allows you to create. It's not an LMS. It's not like LearnDash or Lifter LMS or the other LMSs that is a complete and complicated system. It's a really simple way to just use templates to create a nice online course site without any coding. You should really check it out. And it's made with dynamic content. It's really smart. And we got some interesting responses in that field from our community. So Francesco created a yoga on demand service with more than 400 subscribers in a month with Elementor and ACF. Margarita created online courses for kids about security. Julian created an online gym. And Morty said this really helped him because he started teaching branding and design. So what he knew as a web creator, he started teaching it online. Here's another site we received for our showcase that was created after COVID, that's offering online courses for gym and workshops and selling that. So this is a really great potential for you to either teach your own skills. If you know SEO, if you know copywriting, this is something a lot of people want to learn. Or if you want to help others like schools or gym instructors, anyone who wants to teach. So apart from e-commerce and online learning, I got a really interesting idea from the same post in the community from Roy Haddad, who runs R11. And he mentioned that they have a client who's a leader in the B2B teeth whitening niche. So, and that of course got affected after the situation because they sell kits, gels, and systems for salons, spas, and dentist offices. So what Roy did, he offered his client to build an online store, B2C, to create a package, a kit for at-home use for that product. And he actually got a great response for it. I mean, he says, customers loved it and they saw great results from it. And their client went from B2B to B2C. Now they're offering an affiliate program, so it's B2B2C. And what's great is they offered it to the client. That's what's important here. And not only that, they offered it with a rev share, meaning the web design company is actually making money every time the teeth whitening business is making money. And of course, a lot of your clients might be less inclined to spend now. So rev share is something that is potentially very win-win for both sides. Another great idea is to offer a set package as a service because people are less inclined to spend money. If they know what you offer, if you have a fixed package with a fixed price, that can give you a leverage in getting clients. And I read in the comments that this is definitely something some of you are interested in. Here's another idea for an online therapy site that was submitted to our showcase. That's very relevant. And this school actually redesigned their entire site. This site was also submitted to our showcase. They redesigned their entire site, put those lovely images of the teachers and the pictures of COVID. And below that, they created blog posts around COVID, a personal message from the principal. And why I'm sharing this is because a redesign takes a lot less commitment from the client, and it's definitely a viable service that you can offer. Just not a whole design of a site, but a redesign, making it more relevant to today's situation. So The second insight, that the second tip I want to share with you is actually to contact your clients. So, it's we've done. I mean, the whole world has gone through uneasy times, and as people now slowly recuperate, we talked about the fact that lockdowns are being lifted. This is the time that businesses start to adapt to the situation, and they want to, the same as you, businesses want to get back to business. So now is the time to be, it's a perfect time to reconnect. If before people were preoccupied by kind of protecting their business, now is the time to ask them how they are doing, getting back to your previous clients, asking them how you can help. And I know that it's complicated. The situation is complicated. You don't want to be salesy at these times, but you have to remember, you are the expert. They see you as someone building their website. You have the expertise, you have the knowledge to give them insight how they should manage their online presence. So you can offer them something they don't know. You can really help. And another tip is to think about diversifying your clients. So this kind of insight I got also from the community, from a person named Hedviga, and she said that nothing changed for her because she had big clients before. And so I think this is important. For example, if you only had travel clients, then your business is jeopardized. You need to think for your long-term plan how you can diversify, maybe have some big clients, have clients from different areas. This way you ensure your business success even through this and other crises. And next tip is actually to cooperate. So I saw in an interview recently that unlike the common view, when this just broke, there was a common view, a common myth, like people are selfish, and this pandemic shows how people hoard things, but actually we proved it wrong. I mean, people were willing to help each other. It seems like the whole world became a sort of community. I mean, this event is, and this community is proof of that, people are, people who have that community, who have that network, they manage to survive through difficult times. So it's important to think about it, think about how you can cultivate more people. And when you use some tools as a freelancer, it's easy to get into, I can do everything myself. But this is something you should think about consciously, how you can develop your connection to the community even more. So this is the essence of community. And I know that Tali and Nofar have a saying, community over competition. I think that's beautiful. And at times of difficulty, either you will help your friends and the people in the community, or they will help you. And I won't share this video, but I'll skip because of time. But so the experts plan that we recently launched, I hope everyone has seen it. If not, we actually we bumped it, we released it ahead of schedule, because it's a platform that helps you connect with other Elementor experts. It allows you to showcase your work, and it allows you to get hired and get clients. And for COVID, it was initially meant only for our expert plan, but for COVID, we open it up for everyone for the duration of this situation. And we've been seeing a lot of activity here. I mean, over 2,600 profiles have been published, and we got a lot of great feedback that you can see on your screen. Really happy to be part of Elementor Experts. 2 new customers in 5 days. Recently signed up and got my first client. And it's lovely to see these results. And it's a free platform that we invested heavily in, because it's important to allow you to showcase your work and get hired in the easiest way possible. And my final tip is regarding strategy. And at times like these, it's very easy, and I'm speaking also with experience, it's very easy to be swept away by tactics. I mean, you're constantly bombarded by information. You want to react, you want to protect your business. So it's only natural to think about the short term, and it's sometimes also helpful. But as time goes by and we're approaching the end, hopefully, of this situation, it's important to think about the long-term strategy. This is why I recommend you take a step back and work on updating your business plan and strategy to the new situation. So just a few ideas what that can mean. If we're talking about working on your vision, what exactly are you building? What kind of business, and how has will this be possible to develop during this situation? And your mission. So how will you actually help the needs of the changing needs of your customers? Your pricing. Will you alter your pricing to maybe make a fixed price like I mentioned before? What are the channels? This is a very not easy one to answer. What are the channels that you'll focus on in the next half year? We've seen a huge reduction in PPC across all industries. So will you invest in SEO, content marketing, PPC? Maybe take a recheck of your objectives. Like, what do you plan to achieve in the next quarter? Gain 5 customers? Just as an example. And what is the action plan that you have set up? Like, by this date, I want to launch my portfolio website. And that's actually my presentation. So what we covered, we started out wanting to find ways to adapt to the new normal situation we're approaching. We explored some new directions you should consider tapping into. We talked about online course. I mentioned the template kit, e-commerce, some other neat ideas like RevShare. We talked about ways to prepare by connecting to past clients, targeting a diversified clientele, maybe cooperating with colleagues and others. You can use the new expert plan to also to get clients and to cooperate. And finally, we talked about the importance of revisiting your strategy and updating it for the long term, taking into account the new permanent situation we're in. And final word is that you should feel uplifted, that you're in the right industry, and all you have to do is work very hard to reap the fruits in the future. One last thing, you didn't think I'm going to let you off this lecture without a short sneak peek. So I want to share some of the things that are coming for Elementor 2.10. So without further ado, drumroll please. If you remember, for when we reach our 4 million active installs celebration, we let our users choose the next feature. And we got thousands of responses, and the win was across the board. You chose multi-step form, and that's exactly what is coming. And multi-step form is something that is geared to improve the UX of the user experience of filling forms, increase conversion, and it's the perfect thing to get for this situation. I mean, people want it, your clients will want it. Just want to check quickly the comments. And the next feature is Lottie animations. So this is a really cool feature, especially for web designers. It allows you to add amazing animations using a simple drag and drop. It's going to allow you to create beautiful sites and beautiful effects. So I'm sure you're going to appreciate that. That is coming really soon. So thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed my presentation. And again, it's lovely to be here. And now I'm available to answer any comments and questions.
Thank you so much. Everyone, well, not everyone, but the comments in the comments area, people are really excited, understandably. I'm very interested. So we have some questions. Do you guys want to pop your questions in? I've got some questions in the Q&A box, so I'll get started there. And I also have another question that was dropped to me somewhere else. So the first question for you is, do you have a roadmap of future updates to Elementor? And are you able to tell us what is coming? So you just gave us a little tip there, but do you have a roadmap of updates? So, you know, some organizations might do Trello board.
Well, Tanisha, you got stuck here for a second, but I'll let myself answer this. So, of course, we have a long roadmap ahead, not just 1 year, but way past in the years to come. The thing is, we don't share the roadmap because of different, you know, remain competitive and so I can't share a lot more than I already shared of the next version, but I can say that we are going to continue the same line that was started in the past few releases, and we're going to see a lot of move forward in terms of global work and making it easier to build websites. It's I want to share because I can just say that it's you haven't seen anything. It's going to be, you haven't seen anything yet. It's going to be really, really exciting. I'm excited by what's to come in the next 6 months. So there's a lot to look forward to.
I do have another question that's just what you've just said has just actually reminded me to ask, and it's about the long-term strategy of Elementor. So are we likely to be able to get to a point where we just use Elementor, or will we always be affiliated with WordPress?
Well, I mean, we believe in WordPress. We love WordPress, and you know, we believe in open source. So there's no telling of the future, but currently we think that the road up ahead is with WordPress, and there's a long way to go.
Thank you. Okay, so another interesting one. So you remember you mentioned the stripped WooCommerce site. So the question here says, what is the stripped WooCommerce called, and is it part of Elementor Pro? So was it just that they had it a stripped site using WooCommerce?
I think they were developers.
Okay.
That's a good question. They were developers. I mean, Elementor does have a WooCommerce builder.
Yeah.
And it allows you to create your product page and a few other areas of your WooCommerce store. But WooCommerce is pretty complex plugin. It might be intimidating. I recommend you check out some of the videos we released around it, and you see that it's not that intimidating. Even if you don't know code, you can use the wizard of WooCommerce. You can use WooCommerce Builder, and you can build good e-commerce stores. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to try and jump. Okay. Multi-step forms, will they be free or pro?
It's going to be pro. Well, forms is pro. So multi-step is part of the form. So that's going to be pro.
And will the forms save progress? So in the multiple stages, will they save progress? Is that what the forms are going to be doing? Can you tell us a little bit more about what that will be?
I don't know what you mean by save progress, but every multi-step, that's the idea of multi-step. You get step one, they fill in, step two, that's the concept.
Yeah, I would think so. So David, Ash, you asked that. So maybe if I didn't interpret that right, you can drop it in the chat box. Thank you, Ben. Okay, Mihai, please correct me if I said that wrong, says, are you planning on opening international offices?
There's no plan for that right now, but yeah, in the future, that's definitely a possibility.
Okay, so next one then would be, will the Elementor editor be available on an iPad?
That's a tough one. I mean, we don't have any clear plan for that. But again, that's something that might be in the future.
Okay. And then someone's asked about the Lottie animations feature. So could you say anything more about that?
Yeah, sure. Well, Lottie was actually a feature that was developed by Airbnb, the design team at Airbnb. And it's pretty easy there's tons of advantages to using Lottie, because you can actually create and manipulate the animations in a lot faster, and it's done with code. So basically, it's just a library that allows you to create those animations, and there's a huge public library of animations that you can actually, that are pre-built and you can use. So I recommend you go to Lottie Files. That's the site, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
I'll maybe pop it into the chat here. Yeah. So you can read about it more, of course.
Thank you. I'm just trying to look at the next one. Right. Thank you for that, then. Next question is, are there any plans, or will it be possible, is it planned to enable developers who build applications for MySQL to use Elementor and WordPress to build dynamic applications based on MySQL? It's super technical, but I just thought I should throw it in.
I don't know of any. Yeah. I don't know of any plans to create apps and something. That's really not our main objective. We want to focus on the web creator and websites. So now apps and backend programming is not in the near roadmap.
Okay, so someone asked about the course templates, but the course templates are part of the monthly pack, which are on Pro, aren't they?
Yes.
Yeah, so we can just go ahead and say, yeah, the course templates are available, but they are on Pro. So when you get to the site, you can just have a Google of it, the Elementor, and just put literally those words in there. It'll pop up and you get to the right page. But it is part of the Pro package. So you'll be able to see that. Someone has just asked, I'm going to jump into the chat box. I know some people are still asking. You can use this chat box, Christian, it's fine, but better to use the Q&A button. So is it possible to create a shop online with Elementor without WooCommerce and having Pro? Well, to a certain extent it is, isn't it? Because it's about linking your pay button to a payment processor. I mean, Ben, do you want to answer that? But I would say you could connect it to Square, PayPal, etc., and do what it used to do back in the day.
Well, there are different plugins. Just now, just before this lecture, I heard about the fact that GiveWP, which is a donate plugin, created this, and they allow you to collect donations on your site. Okay. There's EDD. There's just putting a PayPal button. So there are different ways to kind of simulate it. It depends what kind of store you're looking for.
Cool, thank you. I've just been asked about a native app, but I think that will probably tie in with our iPad question earlier, which we're not really sure how it's going. Do you think there'll be a native application?
I don't think in the near future there will be, no.
Okay, right, so a couple of questions that I can just answer whilst they're here because they're quite basic, but is Elementor, for a newbie has asked, is Elementor a complete standalone all-in-one builder editor theme? No, it is an all-in-one builder, but you would use it with a theme. My favorite is Hello, and Hello happens to be built for working with Elementor, but I know Mike and quite a lot of people, like Astra, there's a whole bunch of themes that are compatible. Would you like to add anything to that, Ben?
Yeah, I mean, the theme is really, if you think about Hello theme, it's the most stripped down theme that you can imagine. It's just a few files, few empty files. So the answer is actually, you can create the entire website using Elementor. It's an all-in-one solution, from the header to the footer to the entire pages. The theme, like Hello theme, is just a technicality, because this is how WordPress works. So just use Hello theme. I think there's over 200,000 active installs now for that theme. Once you install it, the design itself, the entire design is done with Elementor. You don't get the hassle when you have in the past where you have a page builder and a theme and you say, wait, this controls that, this controls that. This is no longer relevant. You can use, all the colors, typography, everything is done on a global scale with Elementor.
Exactly. Thank you for that. Don't worry, Christian, just drop them in here. Yes, you can. You can all, if you can't figure out how to use the Q&A, I am looking at the chat. So here, do you have any recommendations? So there's been quite a few questions about recommendations for plugins, by the way. So if you take that in its entirety, but with this question, there's also a specific about any themes or plugins that are good for hosting a document library. At the moment, a drawback seems to be the linking directly to the media file. So that's Nick has asked that.
I'm not sure if I understood. A document library, meaning...
like a depository, possibly maybe somewhere to store academic documents. I'm thinking document library. I'd go there to download maybe lots of documents, documentation about software, perhaps. So people who want to see documents. Nick, use the chat box to correct me if I'm wrong, but I think just a document library. So perhaps like a library.
I think you can.
He said yes.
I think you can just use the media library. I mean, if you use WordPress's media library, you can just create a page with Elementor and get a download link. And that's something that you can do quite easily.
I get it. So I think it's about the inputting of the links would be too slow to do manually. So that's why he's wondering if there's a plugin that manages those kind of media links, I suppose, or the media.
Well, you can, using Elementor forms, you can actually upload files. And once you submit, you can use Zapier, and it's a technical solution, but you can actually use it to create, to push those into your site.
Okay, thank you. Hello plus style kits for Steam style is a pretty good one-stop in Elementor way to be independent of themes. Okay, that's from Jim, True Point Jim. Nigel has said WP File Manager Pro works well for document repo. I think Nick, you're getting quite a few suggestions in there. I've also seen someone say they built the library using CPT, UI, and ACF with Elementor. So have a look in there, Nick. Do you have any other plugins you'd like to recommend? Any favorites? Any that you just believe are really amazing that people should try?
Well, obviously, Yoast is a good recommendation. I think, I mean, one of the things I think that is powerful with Elementor is that it really is, it reduces the amount of plugins you need to the bare minimum, because there are a lot of conflicts that may arise when a web creator wants to build a website. Then if you can use plugins as a custom solution that goes beyond, like if you need something specific that we don't have, like I don't know, Pinterest share or any other solution, you can use that. And Yoast and Rank Math, we just had, I think today or tomorrow, we published a blog post about Rank Math, and it's gaining popularity, this plugin, for sure. So you can check out the Elementor blog. It was published today. Yeah.
Perfect. So Christian asked the question, which I've just half answered in chat, but I'm just going to round that off because he was just asking, and I'm going to answer this because I'm sure that a lot of the newbies might be wondering this, but is it possible to just duplicate items across pages? It is. If you're within the same page, you can right click and then the sub menu options will come up and you can copy and then paste it in a new place if you'd like. If you're, or you can also just paste the style related to that area. So maybe if you've got the same text that you want to then have the same styles across those texts, rather than doing all the functions again, you can just do that copy and paste.
Yeah.
Or you can right click and save template and then head over to a brand new page and always be able to take that template from there.
And also,
Yeah.
just to jump in there, with Ultimate Add-ons, they've just released a new element or feature where you can copy and paste across to a whole different site as well.
Yeah.
In the last month, they've released that too.
Exactly. Perfect. Christian's asking about star cloning. Yeah, so star cloning, yeah, definitely. Just right click, copy, and then paste the style. There shouldn't be any issues there. Usually, no, shouldn't be any issues. If there are, those are the kind of things you can bring along to our regular Elementor events anyway, and bring the site along and, you know, get about 5-10 minutes of everyone's attention, helping you troubleshoot if you're actually stuck with something. And the Elementor team, especially on the Facebook chat, they're also quite useful, the Elementor community there and the bigger community. So perfect. Okay, great. So Christian says that's fine. Okay. Tarak is saying, is there going to be a better mega menu on the offering?
Regarding mega menus, that might be in the future. Currently, we haven't developed a mega menu, but there are pretty great mega menus out there. What you can do is use the pop-up to actually create a mega menu. And there's a YouTube on that that is really nice. Maybe I can find it and share it real quick. And this way, using the pop-up menu, and inside the menu, you can actually design whatever you want inside that that pop-up.
Okay.
So that's really cool.
Oh, I can see this. I can see the mechanics behind that now. I can see what you mean. So connecting the pop-up to the button, and on button press, the mega menu opens up.
Exactly.
You get all the Elementor build features that you would ordinarily have with pop-up, meaning that you can make things quite dynamic with images and text, etc.
Yes.
Oh. Okay, copy paste. So whilst you're just looking for that, I'm just going to say, I think Christian, Phil Kershaw has just pasted a link in there for cross-site copy paste to support you with that if it's across different sites as well. Is there anything you have without using it? I don't know. I replicate and put it back on another page and edit.
Here's the video.
Ah, perfect. There you go, guys. The video is there for using a pop-up to create a mega menu.
And subscribe, don't forget.
Of course, do not forget to subscribe. Do not forget to subscribe. Okay. Let me see something. Yes, that would definitely be amazing, Neil. We'll actually share that out to the community as well. Can I change the color of all similar places around the page? Yes, actually. Ben, could you talk to us about the update that was a moment ago to the styles update? Could you talk a bit about that, especially because we've got so many newbies who might not even know that we had that update?
You're talking about dynamic color.
Yeah.
So this is a really cool feature where you create, in Elementor, you can create a template that runs across how many pages according to the condition you want. So across any tag, any category, any author, and inside the page you can embed dynamic content, meaning you can have text that dynamically changes across sites. So if, let's say you have 100 landing pages and one template, you can use that template to create 100 different content. So if you're talking about, if at first we had only dynamic text, dynamic images, now we also have dynamic color, which is really cool. So set it once, for example, set your page once, and then your entire each blog category gets a different color, and so on. There's a lot of use cases for that.
Perfect, thank you. So coming back to Elementor Experts, Les is asking, from the Experts Initiative, are there any plans for a formal Elementor exam program which would give credibility to developers?
There's nothing that I know of, but I mean, something that we are thinking about. I mean, in the expert, when Experts was released, this was the initially released as beta, and we have huge plans to develop it, and we're going to. I can't share too much, but we're going to allow users to be able to find and filter the right professional, and this is of course done in we have a lot of plans to do it. One of the ways is of course sort of certification, so this is definitely something in the future.
Okay. We'll have to start studying. Okay, so let me get to our next question. So I just moved this. What are the plans for more dynamic tags and dynamic content integration? I think you just covered that a little bit, didn't you? So dynamic conditions, deeper ACF integration, or custom loops, for example.
I know this is a requested feature, loops, and it's definitely in our scope. It's just at Elementor, we're kind of crazy in terms of making a solution right. So once we have the right solution, we will release that.
Okay. And with the Lottie animations, are they predefined, or will we be able to make our own?
You'll be able, to make your own, of course. Yes.
Good stuff. Will you create a template marketplace and accept template kits from the community to be purchased inside of the page editor?
This is one of the things that I mean, you don't know what the future holds.
Yeah.
So everything is possible, but it's not going to happen in the next month.
Very true. Okay. Thank you for that. That was from the read. I think that was quite interesting one. Can the elements bar? Oh, okay. Feature request for future for the elements sidebar. So it's usually on the left. Yes, the element sidebar showing on my left. Can it come out? Will it be able to come out and stand alone as an extended feature of the site? So could we be able to pull it out of the window?
Okay. I don't know of any plans to do that. I can offer it to our product team. I think there is an advantage of having the mind gets into habits. It's just something, and I think there's something about where the panel is all the time. You get used to it. You do it automatically. So if the person who asked it, it's someone kind of new to Elementor, I think that once you get into the habit, you don't want to change that.
Yeah. Okay. So I just want to. We do in London. We have been clapping for the NHS at 8. So could we all just clap for the NHS, which is the National Health Service, please? Because the comment box, people are slapping themselves on the head with a saucepan apparently, and they're all going crazy for us to clap. So clap. Clap for our healthcare workers. Okay. All right. So the form filling, right? I've got a little bit of a comeback to that question before about if it could save as you go. So they're talking more of an example of perhaps a form builder, application form. So a long application form, will it allow people to save and come back to the form at another day? Is that what it allows?
No, come back another day? No.
So it's more splitting the forms into page 1, 2, and 3 kind of thing.
Exactly, yes.
Yeah. There you go. So that's for David and Keith. Thank you. Is there any plans for a lifetime subscription?
No, definitely not. This is, I can answer pretty you know,
Quickly.
straightforward and quickly. Yeah.
All right.
It's horrible. I think products that offer a limited solution because they like lifetime solution, because it's like they don't believe in their business, because you have to create a sustained business. I don't advise, also, if there are web creators there, don't offer lifetime yourself as lifetime service as well. Not recommended.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so Lottie Animations, is that going to be part of free or pro?
Pro, yeah.
Pro. Thank you for that. Hello theme. There is no margin around inline images. Is that by design or being no, that is being so bare bones. In fact, not only is there not margin, but you can actually take the margin into minus. It's extremely bare bones. It's perfect. So you can do exactly what you want to do. If you want to add to that, Ben, you can add to that. Just looking for more. So
yeah, well, once I'll just add, they're talking about position absolute, right?
Where yes, exactly. Yeah, this is what position absolute. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's intentional. Once you put it in position absolute, I mean, it changes. If you know how it works, like it's not defined. It's defined not in comparison to other elements in the page, but in relation to the whole screen. So yeah, this is why you can't have the regular padding and margin.
Okay, and then he's talking about also inline images embedded into text.
Inline images embedded into text. You're talking about the text editor?
Inline images, yeah, in the text editor. Yeah, that's CSS. Mm-hmm. But that's also, it's also like the whole point with, maybe he's using Hello, I think. What theme are you using? Because the main point anyway is with Elementor is that you can control every pixel area. So yeah, there's no boundaries you can't cross. So chances are, if it's that way, it's supposed to be that way.
I would suggest that they use the image widget and not just inline image inside. Exactly. This way you can adapt it to mobile screens and...
Yeah, I totally agree. You can do drop cap, then you can position absolute on the image, bring it down and do a better, make it look much better than inline images in the text editor. We need a post list widget, similar to CTA, title, overlay, and image. Okay, let's jump here for a second, 1 second. Can you see the Q&A? So it says, how are you dealing with clients still affected by lockdown, but needing to work in preparation for lifting the lockdown? You did mention the training that was being offered and the amazing resources on the website, as well as the submissions that you received. So I think that's along the lines of that. Are there any other ways as well?
Expert platform is definitely something you should explore. We're constantly thinking about, I mean, I know that it's in the minds of our users how to get clients, and we recently created a Monday masterclass about how to build a proposal. We're constantly thinking about this issue and how to create more content around it. Yeah. And generally, Elementor also helps in that arena, because when you standardize the process of website building, you know, you can offer the client, here's the tool, this is the tool, and here's the platform, and the platform offers you everything you need to build a website, and this way you can better manage the client expectation.
Yeah. These are really, so is it possible, I mean, I haven't seen the Monday masterclasses. Is it possible to catch replays of those?
Of course, it's in our YouTube, our regular YouTube. There is also a playlist, so check out the proposal one.
Okay, great. Maybe we'll add some as well to in our post when we post out, so you can see those. Right, I have a few little short questions now. You okay? If you had some water, do you need to have a drink? Birthday water. Yeah. No birthday water. I hope no one's getting drunk without us over there. All right, so in your opinion, Keith's got a G&T, but in your opinion, how do websites stack up against social media? So would you say, I mean, obviously, chances are you're probably going to say definitely yes to some sort of website, but like, do you say yes to websites, landing pages, etc., or just social media?
That's an interesting question, because you can reach amazing results in social media. I mean, if you're a photographer in Instagram, you're probably going to get recognized with an audience. You have the potential of reaching millions.
Yeah.
I think that that's where strategy comes in. You need to think about strategy. Where is your clientele coming from, or where would you like them to come from? And ask questions like, what is your business? What kind of service do you provide? You know, we had I have an interesting story around it. We had a one-on-one offering, meaning we offered in Black Friday, we offered one-on-one sessions with the Elementor team. And I was one of the people that people won for a session. And one of the people I met with, he was actually a health instructor, a coach, health coach, who was also a paraplegic. He couldn't walk. And he had the most inspiring story. And he told me that all of his people that he coached came from social media.
Oh, wow.
But they arrived in his site, and I looked in his site, and it didn't convey anything of his story, his motivation, just talking to him. So that was the point of the session. I just gave him a few tips. 2 weeks later, I came back to the site. It was completely transformed, and he was able to really tell his story the same way he won clients on social media. He managed to do it on the site. So it's all a matter of kind of first focusing on which channels you choose, Facebook, Instagram, your website, and then making it work. Of course, there's a huge advantage of a website where you control the layout, you control the experience that the users get. You add the buttons and get a lot more leads, and it's yours. I mean, Facebook can decide to take off your profile one day, and that's the beauty of WordPress and of open source. It's yours, you own it. Exactly. So yeah,
totally agree. In fact, that actually is such a good point. And I think we've covered that in little portions in our monthly events. It's about transferring that business model to the website so that when people go to the website, they understand what your business does in the same way that but people are more naturally inclined to do on social media. But with a website, people just look for a pretty website, a beautiful website, and I don't know what you do, but it looks nice.
I have to tell you, I don't think the first way to sell is through the website. No. Meaning, you first need to, if you sell one-on-one, sell in person, have a business. If you don't have a business and you just want to make it on a website, it's going to be really hard. If you've had success, one-on-one meeting, in sales meeting, in, I don't know, phone calls, then you can transfer that business the right way to your website.
Yeah, exactly. Totally agree. So quite a few people are saying some interesting things as well. Yeah, I think Nigel was saying something similar to what you said. He was like, huge problem with relying solely on social media is you have little or no control. An account can be taken away for a number of reasons. Very true. Whereas the website is yours and totally under your control within limits. Obviously, make sure.
By the way, the algorithm keeps changing and not for the organic users. So Facebook, for example, you can hardly get organic views on your profile and page. This happens so there's a start of a new social network, then the network develops, they add ads, and then organic traffic diminishes.
Diminishes and goes all the way down, exactly. So do you have any recommendations for web hosting? Especially if you have multiple websites. So do you have any recommendations for web hosting for people who run multiple websites?
Well, if you go to Elementor, there's actually, I can share maybe just a second.
Also, as well, whilst you're finding that, everyone, there are tons of resources that have come through as recommendations during our individual monthly events over the last year on the Web Creators Toolbox. So you can just go there, and then there's like a page of tools as well. There might be tools we haven't even discussed here. Go on, Ben.
Yeah, I just shared this page in our site that recommends a few hosts that are great. A lot of it has to do also with your budget. So if you can afford it, the more expensive ones, and if not, I mean, the cheaper ones are also perfect for small businesses. So
yeah, I mean, I use, people are saying HostGator20i.com. I use one.com. Which one do you use, Mike? I love one.com. That's not one and one. I have negative emotions about one and ones and the GoDaddies of the world. We've got DreamHost in there. Mike, which one do you use?
I love Flywheel.
Flywheel, that's it. Flywheel, SiteGround, hosting.
I actually use SiteGround as well.
You use SiteGround as well? There you go. So there's a lot of options. Have a look around and see what works well for you. Cloudways, yeah, and see what works well for you, for your needs, and things like that. Okay. Everyone, if you've got different ones as well, pop them in the chat. So if anyone hasn't heard of them, they can have a look in. Okay, so do you have any advice for minimizing load speeds? And that is from Peter.
We had 2 masterclasses on that topic recently. So the recommendation basically is to get good hosting. That's possibly the most important thing. Don't go for free hosting, and don't go for the cheapest. I mean, there are amazing cheap hosting, but don't go for the cheapest. I would recommend you use a cache plugin like WP Rocket. That works well. Like use Hello Theme. Remove the bulk of the theme. Use Hello Theme. That'll be the fastest. Optimize your images. That's a huge thing. Don't upload. I see websites with 5 mega images. They don't think about reducing the images. Go to tiny PNG. Reduce your images to below 1 mega if you can, like 200K or what else? Reduce the plugins you use. The less plugins you use, you have platforms like Elementor that allow you to cut down. I mean, this is something we also published recently, like 17 plugins you can cut down with Elementor. Any other tips, Mike? Maybe you can share something?
No, I think you've covered them all. I think hosting is a big one. I've moved a few clients from kind of shared hosting to Flywheel or Cloudways, and the speed difference is just phenomenal just from the hosting.
Yeah,
so that's a big one.
You can use a CDN, but that's more, I think, complex. So, but if you reach that stage, you can definitely think about these like Cloudflare and other services.
Okay, thank you. That actually ties in with Rob Cox's question. He was just saying, do you think that additional elements packages like Jetpack and EA Essential add-ons impact speed and performance? But they are plugins, so I guess you would group them in with the idea of just have only.
I'm not saying not use plugins.
No,
okay?
just the ones that you need is what you mean.
Exactly. There's a lot of sites that I see that just have a long list of like 30 plugins and they don't even use it. Just being conscious of what that site needs, and then, I mean, there's nothing wrong with using a few useful solutions that actually cuts down on so many hours of programming it yourself or kind of trying to tackle it with code. So I myself, I like to use a few plugins, but just the ones I need. If I find I don't use, it's like like hoarding. If you don't use it for 1 year, like Mary Kondo maybe that's an idea for an article. Mary Kondo your
WordPress,
website.
your dashboards, exactly. All right, let's have a look. So will Elementor in future optimize images? So reduce file size as mentioned.
That's an interesting idea, and we've contemplated that. So that's definitely an option.
Okay. I've seen a question here. This is about demos. Are the Envato demo sites approved by Elementor? I can't elaborate on that, but I'm hoping you understand the question.
Yes. So Envato has Envato Elements. They have a huge list of Elementor templates, like Elementor sites. I think it's like 2,000 templates and over 100 sites, and they're expanding it. And I mean, it's not approved in a regulatory process, but we do keep a close communication with that. I mentioned before, cooperation, it's important. So we're definitely in tune with their team. We give them guidelines, and we try to make the templates adhere to our rules as possible. And they have some really nice templates there. I would recommend, in any case, no matter what the resource is, I mean, other than our own templates, which we make sure that they're built according to our designers and our guidelines. But just look around, make sure there's nothing strange. Check it on responsive view. Really do the due diligence on the templates you use.
Thank you. Okay, I'm just going to pop over to this side for a quick question. Oh, Jim's answered that. Plugin Detective. Thank you so much, Jim. Catherine was asking, she said she's got an old site and they've recently renovated it with Elementor, but there's still some legacy plugins there, and she was asking for the best way to find out if she still needs them. But Jim has popped in a plugin in there called Plugin Detective, which actually is going to be quite good at helping with that. Do you also have any suggestions?
We have safe mode in Elementor, which basically deactivates all the plugins. You can maybe try to deactivate and reactivate the plugins. I mean, if it's an old site, it's not, I would go one by one, deactivate, see the result, deactivate, see the result, and most straightforward way, that's what I recommend.
Yeah, true. I think that's what I like to use. We will use switch it off and switch it on again.
Exactly.
The best IT advice you'll ever receive. All right. So I was just going to ask that question, Simon, but you've moved it here. So Simon is saying, how long does it take to get feedback on bugs logged in GitHub?
That really depends, because when we release a feature, obviously, either it's in beta or if it's a full feature release, then we get a lot of responses. So time may vary, but we try to be as responsive as possible. If it's a critical bug, we go right on it, and in a matter of most times it's a matter of a couple of hours, we fix it, we issue the fix. So we really put a lot of emphasis in there. In QA, we do a lot more. We have alpha release and beta release, so we make sure we vet all the versions before we go public with it.
Thank you. I have a little miniature one. So Christian just wants to know, in terms of Envato, would you recommend your templates over Envato, or do you trust them equally? There's lots of people making templates. So how would you rank the Envato templates? I think you kind of said it yourself anyway. It's about checking it properly, because each one is developed by a different person. So
I just want to mention, because this is important, you can actually use Elementor templates. That's a big difference. You can use Elementor templates as a learning tool, just to take it and see how it was constructed, because you can be sure that all the spacing was done correct, in the right order, all the colors, the right use of the tool. This is definitely a standard that we make sure to uphold for every new template. That said, I mean, we can't cover all the niches, so definitely I'd recommend you check out the different resources. There's beautiful templates out there of different styles.
Yeah, there are quite a few really good ones. Okay, so let's BuddyPress. So I actually saw a couple of widgets in the sidebar when I was working on another client that's got BuddyPress the other day. But the question says, is BuddyPress widgets on the roadmap?
Again, I don't think that anytime soon. This is not on our
Focus at the moment.
focus. Yeah.
Okay. Any chance of being able to do skins with Elementor? Andrew, you might need to explain the whole thing of doing the skins. Custom skin?
Well, I don't know if people are aware, but we have a full developer API and developer website. I'll share it also. Developers. Just a second, I'll share it. And this actually has a lot of tutorials for developers, and you can definitely create more widgets, more skins, play around with other features, expand current features, maybe turn your plugin into a widget, expand the form integrations. If you're a developer, having the platform that you can build upon, that's a huge thing that that some developers have done quite successfully.
Okay, so I guess that's for you to see. Phil's not seeing the links that Ben is sending. Okay, I'm pasting that again. Can you see it? Can you see when I paste them? Because I have been going back and copy pasting your links anyway. Because I've noticed a few people have been asking.
Oh.
Weird. Have you seen them when I've copied them over? No. Yeah, we can see all your comments. We can see everything. No. So you guys have not seen any links?
Oh, no.
No.
That's just going to be a huge list.
Okay, so some people have said no. Oh, everyone said no.
Oh, no.
Okay. Well, you know, we usually send a roundup of information anyway afterwards. So, Mike, can we just send those all out in that then for people? And like I said, they're usually also linked. The links are usually also on the site. I'm not sure why you can't see them. That doesn't really make any sense. Maybe, Mike, you can have a look and troubleshoot that. Oh, hold on. I know why that didn't come through. Hold on a second. Where did I just send that? Let me try that. Can you see this that I've just sent?
So as long as people are commenting to all participants.
Oh.
No, they can't.
I think I see why
all participants and attendees. So comments need to be
there we are.
participants and attendees.
Thank you. Okay, that's what Ben sent just now. Mike, do you mind helping out with that? Just a little bit.
Sorry, guys.
Oh, don't worry.
But I think we learned an important thing about Zoom today.
And thank you for telling us. Okay, thank you for telling us. Right, so whilst Mike is helping you guys to get the links, all right, Mihai says, with a new web builder coming out every few months, what do you think of the increase in competition? Do you see it as competition? I mean, Elementor is what, the #1 WordPress page building plugin at the moment?
We're actually approaching 5 million active installs, which is like the top. Yeah, like the top tier that you can't surpass. So basically, we try to continue to improve, make our platform better. So of course, we're looking at the competition and seeing how we can do better. And we're seeing a lot of people that have never heard of WordPress get introduced to WordPress by Elementor, and we're proud of it. We're proud to contribute to this open source project, and hopefully this will continue.
Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to ask this one for Nicole. It's very much a newbie question. She's acknowledged that she's new, but definitely want to keep the newbie questions in as much as the more technical ones. She's saying, can you give some general tips on how to get better at using Elementor?
Sure. So I already mentioned learning from templates, which is a big thing. Just insert the templates and then think, how was it made? Look at the section, column, the structure of everything. I would also recommend going through our entire YouTube channel, especially plugin. We have videos about getting started. I'd recommend taking a web design course. I mean, web design is definitely a skill that you want. I would take a design that you see on Dribble or on Behance and just try to recreate it yourself in Elementor. These are the tips that I have. And just build websites. Just contact your friends. Ask them if they need a website. Just dabble with it. Build something for yourself, because practice is the best way to learn it.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
Fully agree. I mean, even so Phil also said WP Tuts good. They've also good tutorials.
Adam Prizer's videos, WP Tats, Dave Foy.
Exactly.
These are great resources.
Exactly. And also, as you mentioned earlier, using the template. So I always say to people when I'm teaching new people how to use Elementor, I'm like, stick with the blocks, the page templates, not because that's your page design, but more so you can figure out, like you said earlier, Ben, how much padding do I need to have if I want my text to look like that? So you're not just dropping a text box in a column and wondering why it doesn't magically look like the other one. Actually analyze those and figure it out and try to replicate them if you've got time. And also another good one, if you want to build websites that people will trust, is actually when you've got downtime and you're practicing Elementor, practice it by trying to rebuild a website that you already trust and buy a lot from, because then you'll learn a lot about the architecture of those sites, how the headers usually are, how the footers usually are, because per industry and per sector, there are like rules and norms that are conformed to. And so when the customer arrives there, they expect it to look like this. So you can do those things as well to practice, to kind of get your mind visually seeing a footer the way a footer should look, rather than trying to go a little bit far off to the left of your footer and then the customer just doesn't understand why you have that footer, and so they don't buy your amazing product. So I think that's also really good, because when people are new, they want to try everything, every animation.
Exactly. I've seen so many sites that are just stacked one on top of the other, stacks of widgets. And so before you progress to, like, people already ask, like, how can I create, I don't know, a custom counter? Before you progress to advanced sites, just think about basic layout and color and typography. Learn the basic web design, take a course. The future, I'm just going to have, if you've heard of Chris Do and the future, I'm going to host him in a lecture this Wednesday. So be sure to check it out. I'll share a link as well.
Someone's also following Ferdy's tutorials. They're also good.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
He visited recently, and he's a great guy in general and a great teacher.
Yeah.
Here's the link. I hope everyone can see it. Just nudge if you can see, and you can see the link to the webinar, and I'm sure you're going to learn a lot from it.
Okay, great. So we're going to wrap soon, so I won't go too many. I'll take a couple really tiny questions instead. So yeah, let me see. Okay, perfect. Trying to think which ones. Right. So users giving control of editing to a page. Can an admin give an author control to edit? I mean, at the moment, if I'm in a page and let's say Mike was trying to get into the same page, it would tell me Mike's already in there, or Mike, I'm already in there. So that pretty much does the job. Aside from that, are there any other features that you know that are coming out, Ben?
There's, well, it's I don't know if they asked about that, but there's also the role manager feature that allows you to make sure your client doesn't jumble up your site and only has access to content. So I think this is important. If you hand off the site to the client and you don't want them to mess your design up or make a mistake, you just give them access to only edit content. This way they can drag and drop, and they can only do regular edits.
Exactly. Okay, back to multi-step forms again. I think people have been thinking and the new questions are coming up for that. So will it include like split actions? I can't remember what the phrase is for, but you know, like in type forms, so you can like jumps, like will it include jumps? So for example, if someone says yes, they'll go to a different area.
Yeah, it's called conditional
conditional
forms
logic.
or fields.
Yeah, conditional
logic,
forms, exactly. Yeah, perfect.
It's actually not the first version is not going to include the conditional logic. This is going to be in the future.
Okay. But will it include auto advancing? So maybe not conditional logic, but if I click something, it will just skip me forward because I've said no. Or is that not? I know they're very close, but they're two different questions that are asking. One about splitting ways. If I answer one question, I go another. And another about, well, if this person starts off, for example, and they say they are a web designer, do they head into a different area of the form? Can they do that?
That's conditional.
Yes, but I'm saying, will it have those little bits, not in the interim either? No.
No.
Okay, thank you. Because there were two separate questions. I thought I'd just throw them in. All right. I think we've pretty much gone through most. Okay, let's just before we end, let's go into there were quite a few people asking about Yoast versus rank math. Which your preference is, who thinks which wins. There's quite a few. It's like a whole football game in here of Yoast v rank math, to be honest. So what are your thoughts?
Well, rank math, I know they did a lot of interesting features, like having some of the features built into Elementor. I personally have more experience with Yoast, so I don't know the full scope of rank math, but I guess both plugins are I think today the top choice for SEO plugins. And since they have an extended free version, then try both and see which one you like.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you. Yes, Juan, this meetup has been recorded, right? Yep. And as long as all four of us end up making decisions about if we would like to grant permission for you to see our, faces. We're not sure yet. We haven't decided. But once we finish with that, possibly there will be the ability to have a look at other things, but we're going to definitely collect all the little bits of notes and make sure that we pass that on to you all, so you won't miss anything that was shared here if you were here today. There's nothing to worry about. Thank you so much for people who have to go. We are wrapping up soon, but before we wrap, I wanted to pass over back to Mike, I guess,
Thank you.
Closing.
So firstly, a massive thank you to Ben and Tally for joining us today. We have put in a link to the meetup page, the events page, just with a short survey. So we'd love to get your feedback as to kind of how we can make these events better and further support you. So please do. It's an Elementor survey, so it goes direct to them and we also see the results. So please do take a couple of minutes to fill that in, and that's super, super helpful for us. But no, massive thank you to Ben and Tally for today, because the information shared was absolute gold.
Thanks, guys. It's been fun.
Thank you very much.
Really good fun. So for those of you asking about the next meeting, the usual applies. We'll be popping that up on Meetup within the next couple of days, because we usually do that just after. So just look out for the communications. Make sure that you're in the loop with us, and you'll get access to all the information about when the next Meetup is. It will be online as long as it's on lockdown. But I did see one question saying if when we return from lockdown, will we plan to stay on? Will we be totally offline? And it's funny because we spoke about this, Mike, a few times along the way. That plans in the future of perhaps recording little snippets for people who miss it. We haven't really gone as far as anything live because we were live and everything was fine in person. But as Ben said, you know, new normals and all of that. Until we can be 20 to 30 people in a room intimately and have as much fun as we were having before, I'm sure we'll have to work with Tally and Ben to see how best we can kind of support you guys. So yeah, please have a look at the form that has just been posted. So that's for feedback. Make sure you copy that link. Thank you very, very much. Is there anything you'd like to say, Ben, Tally?
Yeah, thanks, Anita, for...
Anisha, but close.
Anisha.
Tony.
She just wrote brilliant info, and it was great to Anita.
Oh, yeah.
And Tanisha, yeah.
No, sorry, yeah, because when you said it sounded like the other day I got called Bob. So I get really sensitive now when I think someone's calling me the wrong name. How about you, Tally? How's it been for you?
It was great. It was great seeing the chat and all the conversation between the participants, and I hope they enjoyed as much as we did. And it was really great to not see, but see your messages.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Hopefully, we'll visit soon at London.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
we just need the planes to
in
be
real life.
Yeah. Well, I'll definitely join you for that pineapple breakfast, Ben. So I don't know about anyone else, but I've been in London for a while, and I usually have my pineapple at lunch.
For sure.
All right. Perfect. All right, then. So we'll see you all soon. Yeah.
Bye, guys.
See you all soon. Bye.
See you soon. Thank you so much for everyone who's joined us as well. Doing your comments. It's been great.
Thank you. Bye.